Yeah, hi, thanks for participating in this poll. Really appreciate your feedback. So, as we look at SalesGRID currently and our Deal Copilot current features, you can ask anything at the homepage of the library. You can do a bulk response like RFP response off the library, and you've got these hot prompts off the deal content. At the moment, the whole playbook process isn't being activated. You also have these connectors now, which is fantastic. All these connectors coming into the deal, as well as Google Drive in the library. But there are some adoption blockers. That the user needs to take action to generate value. It's actually not obvious how to take action. Hot prompts tend to get ignored. And I guess it's not actually obvious what content to add and why. So we're trying to address that. And so hence your feedback in this poll will be terrific. Just generally what we're trying to do is to create this concept of providing out of the gate information and value without you having to actually do anything, so that when you open the deal, there'll be this deal navigator type functionality, providing insights into the deal. There'll be this action planner type stuff, which means it'll actually give you some ideas and thoughts and surface some points on what to do next. And there'll also then be content crafter, the ability to then make it easier for you to actually create content because it'll display stage relevant prompts. So what we're planning is, and what we're asking for on this poll is that this is the current sort of lookup. I've got Lendy Group here just as an example. What we're proposing is that when you open a deal, you'll actually, the first thing you'll see these things across the top, and the first thing you'll see is company information, and these first four things are all being automatically generated. You don't actually have to take any action. You can pick and choose what information is helpful in your sales process. And so the first thing you'll see, and all of this is getting generated automatically off the content. The first thing you'll see, Savvy's working on it for you. When you open it up, you're going to see information here like, so let's say Lendy, you just started this opportunity. So it gives him info about what Lendy Group's all about, who their key customers are, what the unique value proposition is, and then specifically, different channels to market that would earn commissions, typical pain points for the commissions team. And we can really, tailor these prompts more to really provide out of the gates and really, what will hopefully be helpful information about the company to get you right in the hitting zone in terms of how you're going to manage this opportunity. You might even have a thing like notes here. So every time content's loaded in, there'll be this notes field that gets updated, and so that then gets pushed out to Salesforce. So that's just one thing that the AI is doing for you. The next thing, deal qualification. This idea that, again, all this is being generated automatically, that all the fields for MedPick are going to get generated automatically. You'll have this edit button, so you can actually then enhance it yourself with your own thoughts and edits, and it gets synced back to Salesforce. So that's not only saving you a bit of time, but it's also going to help create hopefully a richer MedPick deal qualification and call out the gaps like economic buy and not enough information available. Then it will also show bind. It will scan all the content for any bind signals. It will scan the content for any objections that have been heard on the deal, and it will also work out against the playbook what topics haven't been covered yet. So the idea here is to surface key bullet points where you go, oh, gee, I hadn't thought of that, or I've forgotten about that. It's just remind you, what are the key elements, particularly topics not covered yet, like implementation, timeline, and risk. Okay, we haven't gone through that with the customer. On the next call, maybe I want to drill into that. Process execution, it's like a visual read on where the deal's at. And then against each stage, you would have a card you can click on where it will call out any gaps in the deal and strengths in the deal based on analysis against the sales process. Then the next steps is basically straight from the playbook. Because you're in a particular stage, we're at the, I think at the evaluate stage here with Lendy. It's showing all the actions that are relevant to evaluate and all the related content. So, this is only as good as the playbook itself, but, the idea is that we evolve the playbook and it's actually showing you, this is actually mapping out here the actual prototype program that we've codified. And then it also surfaced key questions to be asking at this stage based on questions that haven't been answered yet based on all the content in the deal. And then finally, when you draft communication, this is actually going to show hot prompts that are relevant to this stage and help you draft communication for this stage in the process. So depending on what stage you're in, it's going to show you prompts. You can hopefully rely on the fact that these prompts are actually going to be quite helpful. They're going to save you a bit of time, maybe help you be just a little bit more effective on the deal. And finally, RFP bulk response. That's an existing feature, but again, we're just mapping out how the user experience is going to feel here. And that is the what we're doing.